This is going to be the final part to what if Naruto had the Reaper's Dojutsu. So if you guys went on to enjoy this series, then definitely consider leaving a like on this video and also all of the other parts of the series, seeing as it truly does help the algorithm a ton with promoting this video and just getting more and more people to see this series that was created by such an incredible Wattpad author. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys go on to enjoy this part, definitely consider showing some support to the movie version of this when it drops by just going over, leaving a like and a comment. As you guys know, it truly does come a super long way when it comes to helping out the series. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys go on to enjoy the finale, and with nothing else from me, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Chapter 15, an unexpected visit from fate and destiny to the Hyuga clan elders. Alright, so let's see how this chapter starts off. After the invasion, Naruto went home to gather his thoughts. It had then occurred to him that he hadn't visited Hinata yet in the hospital. Though her injuries were healed, she still needed medical attention to be certain. Not like any other medical ninja could do a better job than his grandmother Tsunade, so we now find Naruto sitting next to Hinata, fast asleep, never once leaving her side. The Angel of Destiny, and him, the God of Fate, he was beginning to think that Kami and Shinigami were planning on this to happen from the start, but either way, he didn't care. As long as Hinata's with him, he would face all the gods and clans of Konoha, plus an entire army of Cloud Mist, Sand and Stone Shinobi, and their 5 Kage for Hinata's safety, and he would win by killing them all to prove his love for her. But soon, very soon, the Hyuga clan elders would pay for their arrogant ways. To rig the exams just to prove that Neji was a prodigy? What on earth were they thinking? More publicity for them and less reputation towards the Uchiha clan? As if. If Naruto would realize one thing, it's that the Byakugan is inferior to the Sharingan and Rinnegan eyes. Compared to Naruto and his Reaper eyes, the Rinnegan and Sharingan are the second and third strongest bloodline in Konoha. And Naruto may be a god, but unlike most other gods, he is kind and humble, and only uses his power for the right reasons. Never personal gain and without Shinigami or Kami-sama approval first. Such is, and always has been, the universal law of the gods for centuries. And the Hyuga clan elders had just invoked the wrath of their own god, Fate, by one of their branch members nearly killing the Angel of Destiny, his angel. And now, because of that, hell would soon be raised within the Hyuga clan, and it wouldn't be pretty either. Hinata had woken up and noticed that Naruto was fast asleep on the chair next to her, and as though he hadn't left her side at all. She then noticed a strange looking staff next to her bed, and when she grabbed it, it glowed a brilliant white light which surrounded and covered her completely. When the light faded, she realized that she had grown a pair of wings. Her hair was now blonde and came down to her waist, and she was wearing a halo. At first she thought she had died, but then she remembered what Naruto said at the preliminary rounds of being the Angel of Destiny. To think that Kami would bestow such a title upon her of all people. She then sat up and tried flapping her wings, which woke Naruto up. Naruto then looked at Hinata with the largest smile ever and said, well, it seems like someone's feeling a lot better and will make a full recovery. You had me worried there, my dearest Angel of Destiny. What do you say we pay your clan elders a little visit? They've been praying to me for a few days now, and they want you to make a swift recovery. I refuse to answer until you would wake up and transcend to your angel form. Like my god form, you have many unique abilities. I can predict the future and see a person's fate before it happens, resurrect the dead, and even bring the dead back to life. You, however, have the ability to control a person's destiny or even alternate, if you so choose to. Your staff has the ability to give life, just as easily as my sword lets me take life away. We were fated to be together, Hinata-chan, and you probably have already seen our destiny together in the future, am I right? Hinata nodded yes and was shocked that she had powers over giving life back to those who had not deserved to die, and could predict the person's destiny just by coming into contact with them, even alter destiny itself. Hinata then stretched her wings and grabbed a hold of Naruto as they teleport themselves to the Hyuga clan compound. Meanwhile, at the Hyuga clan compound, Hiashi was furious. He warned Neji what would happen if he was to try and insult fate, and now half of his clan, not just the elders alone, were dead. Hiashi then said, "Neji, I can understand that you have every right to be mad at me for not telling you the truth about your father's death, but that's no reason to try and kill my daughter, your own cousin. I refuse to use that cage bird seal on your forehead as punishment, but whatever Naruto and Hinata, who may I remind you are God and angel of fate and destiny, decide is on your head, not mine. Pray that they be merciful and spare you and the Branch House family. You're dismissed." After Neji had left, Naruto and Hinata had showed up in Hiyashi's office behind him, and when he turned around, what he saw struck unimaginable fear into him. There in front of him was Naruto in his god form, with armor on, white plating, and red lining all over it. An image would have been provided by the author, but I can't exactly provide it because I'm not trying to edit anything. And anyways, Hinata would be in her angel form. Just think of something that you would see in Genshin Impact. Blonde hair, like a halo, wings, breasts out, kind of, barely even being covered, and a lot of skin showing. Yep, sure. Anyways, needless to say that Hiashi was now down on his knees begging for mercy and forgiveness, as he was unaware that his clan elders had rigged the preliminary round section. And Naruto said, "Summon your council of elder clans. It's time they realize who's truly in charge of fate and destiny. That nobody preaches about it without praying to Hinata-chan or myself, and tries to play God as a result. Greed makes people like the village council do dangerous things and mess with forces beyond which they cannot even comprehend. Your clan elders will be judged, should they all be found guilty." And Hiashi said, "I understand, Fate-sama. Do what you must to keep the peace and be rid of corruption. The clan elders must die, am I right?" And Naruto said, "Hinata-chan, are they destined to die, or destined to be shown mercy and banished from the clan?" Hinata then closed her eyes as if looking into the future, and what she saw made her feel no remorse or regret. She then said, "Their punishment will be a merciful one, carried out by the clan head, my father, exiled from the Hyuga clan, never to use the Hyuga clan name ever again. Their position on the council will be stripped from them, and the cage bird seal placed upon them, while Neji and the entire Branch House family is freed from the cage bird seal. The two houses will become one, and the old ways denounced and replaced with a new tradition. That is their destiny," she would say. And Naruto said, "Well then, there you have it, Lord Hiashi Hyuga. Your clan's council elders will be spared from deaths. Embrace it instead. They are destined to remove from the clan and never return. Quite a merciful punishment, if you ask me, don't you think? Because personally, I'd have killed them after judgment was carried out." And Hiashi said, "Very well, Fate-sama, Lady Destiny. I shall carry out the punishment for their actions. Since it is your will, it shall be done. And thank you for sparing my nephew and his family. I should have told them the truth from the start." Naruto saying, "Lord Hiashi, if you could have one last moment with your wife and your brother, and I told you that I can make that happen, what would you do in return for me performing this selfless act of kindness?" And Hiashi said, "You can do that? Is that how you brought your parents back from the dead? Your bloodline let you resurrect them. Please tell me this is not a joke." And Naruto said, "It's a god I never joke when I say that I can bring someone or someone else who has died back to the land of the living. I have the power and I must be approved by Kami and Shinigami-sama. So I ask again, Hiashi Hyuga, what is it you will do in return for me bringing your wife and brother back from the dead?" And Hiashi said, I'd do anything you ask. Whatever it is, just name it and I'll have it done in an instant." Hinata said, "You will remove the cage bird seal from Neji and every other Branch House family member that has been enslaved by our family for years now. Failure to do so will result in your own death as compensation for the lives of Mother and Uncle Hiashi. Are we clear, Father?" Hiashi just bowed before his daughter and future son-in-law and said, "We have an agreement. I shall call the elders immediately and inform them that they are being charged with clan treason and being judged by the god of fate and angel of destiny." An hour or so later, the clan elders showed up to Hiashi's office for their meeting, or what would rather, they would see Naruto and Hinata, as fear would be struck into them, and immediately Lord Hiashi would perform that is very same thing. They could practically all feel the combined killing intent of Naruto and Hinata weighing down on them, so heavy in fact that just a simple glance into those eyes of the Grim Reaper of Konoha, any sane person would know to either accept death's embrace or even beg for mercy. Naruto then reached out for his Zanpakuto, but before he could draw his sword, Hinata put her hand on his and said, "Naruto-kun, this is a clan matter. Your fate, I'm destiny. But you aren't of the Hyuga clan family. Let me handle this, okay, my love?" Naruto then said, "Fine, make it quick, so we can revive your mother and uncle. Don't go easy on them with your judgment either." Naruto then transformed back into his human form and walked out of the office. Hinata in her angel form then raised her staff, and the clan elders watched the staff as it lit up as bright as the sun, and she would then slam it on the floor and say, "Destiny art! Judgment barrier of consequence. While inside this barrier, your very soul shall be mercifully judged by me. I have the powers to alter your destiny and give life back just as easily as Naruto-kun could take it from you. I am destiny incarnate. As we speak your destiny within the clan, it's all being altered. Your punishment for rigging the Chunin exam selection of the preliminary rounds is exile from the Hyuga clan. Yours to be stripped from the rank and title as council members of the clan. And upon your exile from this place, you are forbidden from ever talking the Hyuga clan family name in this or any other village ever again. Destiny art, light of judgment." A bright light then appeared over the elders' heads first. It was white, but then the elders were fearing as the situation couldn't get any worse. The white light turned pitch black, indicating that they are all guilty beyond saving, and that the punishment was to be carried out as ordered. Hinata then said, "It seems that you have all been found guilty by the light of destiny. And the light of destiny is never wrong. The punishment is exile. So says I, the angel of destiny." As Hinata would slam her staff on the floor once again, and the elders vanished to a place where nobody could reach them. They were sent to the hidden cloud village in Lightning Country, a fate far worse than death itself. Hiashi smirked as if knowing exactly where his daughter had sent them and said, "You sent them to the hidden cloud village, didn't you, Hinata? A fitting punishment for them, considering that they sent my own brother there for the good of the clan when it was only to benefit themselves. A very fitting punishment if you ask me." Naruto then walked back in and said, "If we're done here, could we please get a move on so we can bring your mother and uncle back from the land of the living?" And Hinata said, "Of course, my love, my dearest god of fate, anything for you. I wanted to test the power of mine anyways." And so, with all the Hyuga clan elders banished from the cloud, they would go to the cemetery and found themselves at the graves of Hiyashi's wife Hitomi and his brother Hizashi. They would soon be a family once again, and Naruto would be able to meet his future mother-in-law. Everyone got what they wanted and would live happily ever after in the end. Or would they? Chapter 16. A mother and daughter reunited, and a brother's bond restored. Naruto, Hinata, and Hizashi were standing at the Konoha Cemetery, the gravestones of Hitomi and Hizashi Hyuga. They were all about to be revived from the dead, and Naruto and Hinata, as Hiyashi's hopes were very high with anticipation. And Hinata sat in the lotus position and placed her weapons over the top of each other. Naruto and Hinata saying, "By the powers of fate and destiny and the good graces of Kami and Shinigami, we hereby declare you, Hitomi and Hizashi Hyuga, to be revived." The ground shook and the coffins of Hitomi and Hizashi Hyuga rose up from the ground, opening up when they stepped out into the light, and what they saw made them both bow in fear and reverence. There standing before them was the god of fate and the angel of destiny, Hitomi. Hitomi already knew that the angel of destiny was her daughter Hinata, but because of the mask she didn't know who the god of fate really was. So she asked, "Fate-sama, could you please let me see your face? If you are who I think you are, then Kami and Shinigami. Then if you are who you think you are, then Kami and Shinigami-sama couldn't have chosen a more kind-hearted person. Hinata, my dearest daughter, I know that is your angel of destiny form, but please show me the real you, both of you." And Naruto and Hinata turned back into their human form, and when she saw who fate was, she nearly died all over again. When she looked into those innocent blue eyes and blonde hair, she then said, "You're Minato and Kushina's son, but then that means you have revived them as well. How's that possible?" And Naruto said, "Long story short, I can bring back people from the dead, or revive someone who has been dead for less than 30 minutes. You could say that I'm the Grim Reaper's incarnate. Because I can see the future, judge a person's soul, and even take their souls with my Zanpakuto, and anyone else who might take it from me loses their soul instead. You were an innocent soul who died far too early in life. Hitomi and you, Hisashi, though what you did for your brother here was a noble thing to do, it wasn't the smartest thing. After your death, Hisashi's heart grew cold and emotionless, and Neji's heart became filled with hatred and resentment towards his own family, and nearly killed Hinata-chan in the Chunin exam's preliminary rounds. I took her place and defeated Neji without killing him. The clan elders have been judged by Hinata-chan and sent away to the hidden cloud village, never to return or take the Hyuga clan name ever again. Your clan's council had grown into corrupted and tried to force themselves into power, but instead, fate and destiny put an end to that. We put an end to that. Right, my dearest Hinata? And Hinata would say, yes, Naruto, it's as you said, we were fated to be together, and it is our destiny to stand by each other's side for all eternity. Now let's see how my new power works. Hinata then picked up her staff and slammed it into the ground. Hitomi and Hisashi were curious about what Hinata was doing until they saw her staff light up as bright as the sun, and she said, Destiny art, revival of the innocent, become pure of heart once more and bring back the years of which have been taken from you. Hitomi and Hisashi felt their bodies heat up and life returned to their bodies. When Hinata handed each of them a mirror, they realized they had truly gained back the years they lost after dying. They were young again. Hitomi even felt like she was able to run a marathon around the village. Hitomi then asked, how is this even possible, Hinata? What did you do to us? And Hinata said, you can never age or take away from that which was innocent and pure of heart to begin with. Once pure of heart in life, always pure of heart in the afterlife. The choices you both made in life affected Kami-sama's decision whether or not to bring you back to the land of the living. In essence, you both have a second chance at life to make things right with your friends and loved ones. So don't screw it up this time, or we can't bring you back a second time. The Uchiha clan aren't dead, if you were wondering. Naruto-kun made sure of that, because Naruto could see into the future events, and he was able to inform the Kage of them before they would happen, thus changing fate for those people or that person. Does that answer all your questions? Hitomi and Hisashi just dumbly nodded their heads yes, and then looked at Naruto, then back to Hinata and Naruto again. After suddenly processing everything that just happened, Hitomi remembered something and thought to herself, wait a minute, Naruto called Hinata his dearest angel of destiny, and Hinata called Naruto her beloved god of fate, but that means that they're going to be getting I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like that's just such a girly thing. My voice physically can't get that high. Anyways, I'm going to be a mother-in-law, and they're going to get married in the future. Hitomi then went up to Naruto and Hinata and congratulated them on their future together, as she hugged Naruto and said that she's glad to have him as part of the family, son-in-law, and that she's glad that he found a kind-hearted girl like my daughter to be his future wife, asking, when's the wedding? Naruto activating his Reaper eyes, looking into the future, and said, 6 years from now, when we're both of the age of consent to have children. If you want to, that is, Hinata. I wouldn't force a decision upon you that you are not ready to make yet. And Hinata said, when you're ready, I'm ready, Naruto. I'd love to have a family with you, but I won't force that decision upon you. After this, he would say, let's get married first in 3 years from now instead, and then we will take another 3 years to think about maybe having children. I don't want to rush things too quickly. And so, with all the future plans for Naruto and Hinata to firstly get married and then decide about when to start their new family together, the group would leave the cemetery and go back to the Hyuga clan compound. Hitomi then said to Hisashi with a look that said, I know everything, husband, and I'm not pleased with you at all. Hisashi didn't need any words to express what he knew. He was definitely screwed, and he knew that. Hisashi ducked his head in shame, and Hisashi just chuckled, knowing that by now his brother and wife had been around each other long enough to know what they were both thinking. And based on the looks given to each other, and then him, the brothers knew they would receive hell from the Hyuga Madarage, and wouldn't be pleased either. From here, we're going to the next chapter, which is, if the thing could load, why is it not? Hold on, there it is. Anyways, chapter 17, 3 years later. Naruto and Hinata's eternal wedding. It's been 3 years now since Naruto and Hinata decided to get married, and the entire village was in an uproar about it. Anyone and everyone who knew would tell their friends. Well, naturally, Ino Yamanaka was the one who spread the word like wildfire. The dumb blonde couldn't keep her mouth shut even for one moment, without casually ruining a surprise if her life depended on him. Which she knew actually did. Knowing what Naruto and Hinata were scared the shit out of her, and as much as she swore she wouldn't tell a soul, quite literally in fact, since Naruto made it a point to take the soul of anyone else besides friends and family, well, let's just say that a lot of people, and far too many souls to take, which was the entire village. Why did Naruto want to keep this secret, you might be wondering? It's simple really. Because they were having it because where they were having it was considered sacred ground, a place where only gods and angels and those truly trusted were allowed to enter, a place that was so sacred it was considered forbidden place where no man and child to ever wander unless they had died. The wedding was being held in the heavens, and the only way to get there was through a shrine built by the gods in honor of a new god of Pantheon, in this case, Naruto, and by his extent, his soon-to-be wife Hinata Hyuga, the Angel of Destiny. We now find the Konoha 12 and Hyuga and Uzumaki Namikaze, along with Tazuna and his family and Tsunade Shizune and Jiraiya at Naruto's shrine in the Wave Country. Naruto then said, you may all want to close your eyes for this part. Hinata, please put your right hand on this angel statue while I put my left on the god statue, and turn the spiral clockwise and then counterclockwise when I say so. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pretty much what this seems like to me is that they just get married, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't really want to hear about that, right? I'm pretty sure you guys don't really care about that. Anyways, though, the six paths would be the person who performs the thing, and basically it would be a very, very, very like joyous wedding. Hinata's all like, oh, I chose you because he's selfless and puts others before himself. You know, basically all the cheesy stuff. It's a very, very long chapter of them just getting married, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't really want to hear that stuff, right? Come on now. Like y'all all about the action. I think I know y'all, considering that I've been making videos for y'all and I read the comments. Anyways, Naruto and Hinata's honeymoon 3 years later. It's been 3 years now since Naruto and Hinata's been married, and they started planning their honeymoons. Pretty much what ends up happening this chapter is a honeymoon, and dude, come on now. I was expecting a little bit more action, me boy. I was expecting a little bit more action. Oh, that's awesome. Hinata and Sakura both get pregnant pretty much. Anyways, next chapter, chapter 19, Saving the Jinchuriki. Naruto and Hinata were currently traveling across the elemental nations for their honeymoon, and they were currently in the waterfall village when they saw a girl with mint green hair and tan skin was Fu, of the seven-tailed stag beetle. She was currently being chased by a mob of villagers, and Naruto couldn't help but think of the way he used to be treated like that. Before Hinata had stopped Naruto, he had already gone into God of Fate mode and approached the crowd. Thinking that this person was also here to kill her, she feared for her life. But what happened next, even she couldn't believe. This person, whoever he was, pulled out a strange-looking sword and watched as the godlike man in front of her eyes, as cold as death itself, said, "Fu of the seven-tailed beetle, it is not your fate to die. Go find Destiny. She is my wife, and we're on our honeymoon throughout the nations. Or at least, we were. Run and don't look back." Thankful for the safe and chance to escape, she took it and didn't even look back. Naruto then looked at the crowd of people and said, "I am God of Fate. I know all, see all, and predict all. And for attacking an innocent girl for keeping you people safe, you have invoked my wrath. Fate art, chains of fate and destiny." A giant yin-yang circle appeared around the crowd, as it would set chains upon the ground and wrap around them as much as they would try to get free, but it was futile. They were trapped, and thus it truly was the God of Fate. They knew that they were guilty of the action they just committed, and that would probably cause their deaths. Naruto then said, "Where is your village leader? He should be protecting that poor girl for what she contains. No matter. No matter though. I'll find out what's going on myself. Circle of fate and destiny. What has the universe decided? Guilty or innocent?" Just then, both the yin and yang symbol lit up, and Naruto said, "Well, that's a first. Normally the circle judges people on the actions that are reflected on their own souls. This is the first time I've seen it unable to decide." Very well then. Circle of fate and destiny. Shall I let destiny and Fu of the seven-tailed beetle decide their fates? The circle of fate and destiny then disappeared, indicating that Fu should decide the crowd's punishment. And Naruto said, very well. Fu, what do you think is the best punishment for this? Rest assured, should you choose guilty, they will lose their souls. Choose innocent, and they live to see another day. What do you decide? Fu then said, I'm grateful for you saving me from them, but they hate the Seven Tails, not me. They're just too blind to see the difference. Let Lord Shibuku decide. For now, I reserve judgment. Naruto then sheathed the sword and said, very well then. If judgment is being reserved as the god of fate, I cannot make their souls or spare them. They shall remain bound by the chains that I have placed upon them until a proper decision is reached. Naruto then grabbed the chains and dragged the crowd of people and asked Fu where the village leader's office is at. Fu taking him to him, and Lord Shibaku was at his office at the center of the village. My bad, y'all, for that loud engine. I could take you there if you'd like. And Naruto said, that would be great, thanks. I have a proposal for him, and if he's in agreement with me, you won't have to be here anymore. We want to take you to a safer place, a place where nobody can harm you, a place where you can be able to make many friends. As Fu's eyes would light up, and the thought of being able to make lots of friends, stars would light up in her eyes. As she asked where they're going to be taking her, as it sounds incredible. Hinata said, why Konoha, of course. You will be a whole lot safer there, and everyone's friendly. You see, Naruto-kun isn't just the god of fate. He's also the jinchuriki, just like you. He contains the nine-tailed fox, so you can understand why he didn't want to see you getting attacked by those people, since he used to be treated like that as well. They reached Shibuku's office, and when they saw who was on the other side, he knew he was dead. He knew that the gods would come for him eventually. So knowing there was nothing to do but accept fate and Braith, he said, come in, Fu, and please tell your god friends not to worry. I'll take care of those villagers and... Naruto then grabbed Shibuku by his throat and said, listen good and well, mortal Shibuku. As a fellow shinobi and jinchuriki, I know that you haven't done much to keep Fu safe. The third Hokage did the same for me. He died of cancer. So here's what will happen. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, son of the reinstated 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze and Red Death of Konoha Kushina Uzumaki. I will be sending a request to have Konoha Anbu Black Ops come and get Fu and bring her to the Hidden Leaf, where she will be welcomed with open arm. You will agree to this, or I will burn your weak village to the ground as its poor defenses and the Akatsuki after her to the ground. Am I understood? Shibuku could tell that he was serious and wouldn't joke about something like this, so for the good of the village, he agreed to Naruto and his demands and said, I'm sorry, Naruto-sama. I didn't mean to let things get out of hand. My village council holds more power than I have. What more do you expect me to do? Naruto just groaned in annoyance and said, again with village leaders and their power-hungry council. Is there a single village leader that isn't afraid of their council? Smashing at the table, as Naruto then punched a large hole in the office wall, and Shibuku asked, Fu, what's his problem with the village councils? And Fu said, oh, not much really. He just hates people who have too much political influence over their leaders. He's a jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox, so I'd get the council in line before this Konoha Anbu Black Ops show up. Bye-bye. Oh, right. I almost got the villagers who attacked me. Their judgment is guilty. Hearing this, Naruto snapped his fingers, and the chains binding the villagers glowed a black aura, draining their souls from their bodies as they would fall to the floor dead. The chains then vanished, and Naruto said, let's go, Fu. The Anbu should be here by now. Don't worry. They're same Anbu who protected me. You can trust them. The Anbu escorts were then waiting for the village gates for Fu, as Naruto said, stay on guard. The Akatsuki are still out there somewhere, waiting. Protect her with your lives, or I'll be sure to take them from you if you don't. Fu then said, you heard the man. I'm considered a double S-class escort mission, but I'm not helpless. I just choose to not use my tailed beast power. And the cat-masked Anbu said, don't worry, Naruto-sama. She's in good hands. We will not fail you. Naruto and Hinata then continued their one-year honeymoon across the elemental nations, and the next village they would come across, however, would be that of the Akatsuki, the hidden rain village, and Naruto personally couldn't wait. He never told his wife this, but he was given a mission by Jiraiya and Minato to find the other 8 jinchuriki and have them sent to Konoha while hunting down the Akatsuki and killing them if necessary. If Hinata knew this, she would have protested against it, but she couldn't afford to lose Naruto. Not now, nor ever. They had made an eternal vow when they got married to be together forever, through thick and thin. But if there's 2 people Naruto wanted to test his powers against, it's against the Jashinist, Hidan, and Lord Pain, Nagato Uzumaki. Claiming to be immortal in his book was an insult to those of gods and goddesses like him. And Hinata, it's time to learn what a real god is. I mean, not Hinata. It's time the Akatsuki learned what a real god was. And he would kill them all just to have his revenge for what happened to his parents the night he was born. He wanted Madara, Uchiha, and Obito's heads. One way or another, he would get them. Chapter 20. So, following everything that would end up happening, Naruto would end up searching through the lands during his honeymoon phase, and when he would encounter the Akatsuki members one by one using his brand new abilities granted to him by Shinigami and Fate herself, Naruto using his chains of judgment would judge each and every single one of the Akatsuki members, only a couple actually being deemed innocent, Deidara being one of them due to the fact that he truly only wanted to show off his art. Itachi Uchiha would be spared as well, considering that he was never a part of the Akatsuki, so that really didn't really matter, right? I don't know why that was and even pointed out in the story, but regardless, what ends up happening following this is that all the rest of the Akatsuki members would be judged as guilty, the ones that remained of course, and would all be handled by the hand of fate and destiny. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the story of what if Naruto was the wielder of the Shinigame's eye, or what if Naruto had the Reaper's Dojutsu finally concludes. This has actually been one of my more longer stories that I've done in the channel in a while, so if you guys are here in the movie version and you guys are watching this and you saw the whole thing through, definitely consider leaving a like on this video as it helps so much with the YouTube algorithm. And if you enjoyed it, let me know what your favorite part of what was in the comment section, and make sure to check out Aaron Hansel, the creator of this awesome idea. Comment down below, leave him a comment, just talk to him. He's on Wattpad and you can get there via internet, so you don't even have to download the app. So just show him some support, considering he was the awesome author who let me tell you guys this incredible story. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it has been your boy Xehther, and I am out. Peace.